had so much training with children. We want you to go to college and get a degree so you can run either a nursery school or a kindergarten. So I went to East Carolina. Well, it wasn't a university then, it was ECTC, Teachers College. Well, I observed the nursery school and the kindergarten, and I went back home and I said, that is not what I can do. I would take one kid and beat the other one. I had no discipline. I walked into a nursery school, it was like walking into a hen house. Attention to the teachers or anything, they were just running wild. And I said, no thank you, that is not what I'm going to do. So the lady said, if you want, oh, in the meantime my father died. So the lady said, now it was over his dead body. Now, if you want to go to nursing school, we will help you. So that's what they did, and I went into nursing. The problem was they couldn't translate my school grades. So they told me if I would take the high school equivalence test, they would accept that. So I went to Duke University and I took the equivalence test. And I passed it. And I had applied to a nursing school in Norfolk, Virginia. So I went to Virginia with my test and was so excited because I knew I was going in. They took one look at my test and they said, I'm sorry, we cannot accept anything from North Carolina. North Carolina is inferior to Virginia. You have to take the test here in Virginia. So I went to the University of Virginia and I took the same dumb test and passed it, and they kindly let me in. And it was funny because as I lived in Virginia for 15 years, and everybody I talked to, they wanted to retire, they wanted to go to North Carolina. But I worked in the intensive care for about 3 months after I graduated. I decided that's not really what I wanted. I had observed surgery, and I was fascinated by anesthesia. I thought, that's what I want to do. I go in there and put them to sleep, and they don't talk about I had saved enough money. I went to anesthesia school for 2 years. And I finally got to the place where I felt like I belonged. And I worked at the hospital in Alexandria, Virginia for 12 years as a nurse anesthetist. And I enjoyed every minute of it. People said, how can you stand watching all this blood and guts all day long? Well, you don't look at it that way. What you look at is you're trying to save people's lives. And that's the only way you can do it, because you can't take any of that home with you. That's too depressing. But I did enjoy it. And when I was ready to retire, the two children that I helped raise, one was living here and Bill was living in New Orleans. So I went to visit here and I went to visit in New Orleans. New Orleans is fun, but I could not live there. That's not my kind of people. So I decided I was going to come here and live. And the kids said, you took care of us for a long time. Now it's our turn. And that's why I'm here. And I used to walk every morning down by the church here. And the church fascinated me. And one morning I got the nerve to ring the doorbell, and the pastor let me in, and he showed me the church. And when I looked in the sanctuary, I said, that's my church. And Pastor Stable came and talked to me, and he talked me into joining St. Mark's. So you're stuck with me.